know when we're using subtle ego or even ego? How do I know the difference?
Yes. It is called subtle ego because we don't recognize it. You know, somebody says, I have more money than you, you know, it's a gross ego. I have bigger house than you. I have better car than you. That is visible ego.
Right.
Visible ego.
Visible to them or visible to who?
Anyone.
Everybody.
It's just, is visible, period.
To subject and object.
Right. Okay. So if somebody says, I have bigger car, okay?
Right.
Somebody buy still bigger car.
Right.
Somebody can build bigger house.
Right.
So it is visible ego.
Okay.
But somebody says, oh, I'm so pure, you know, or they fool themselves.
Right.
Then it's subtle ego. So how do we use subtle ego? That works against us. Like I don't practice certain thing and you justify it. So subtle ego justifies. Like you are going on the wrong path and you still convince yourself you are on the right path. Or somebody tells you you are doing something wrong, you try to defend yourself. See, in that. So this is how we do. Subtle ego. Ego produces resistance. That is subtle ego. Subtle ego produces resistance against change. See, we don't change. So many things we don't change. What prevents us? Our own subtle ego. Just
from change.
From the change. We justify what we are doing. If somebody is drinking, has a drinking habit, or smoking habit, or any other kind of habit, if we talk to them, they will justify, you know, I just do it because of this and this, you know, they will justify not changing. Or why one doesn't practice every day, or wake up early, you know, they find justify. So self-defense, and this is the ego that hurts us, that instead of learning, we just try to do whatever we are doing. Because if we are learning, it hurts our ego. Because somebody tells you that you are doing something wrong, ego gets hurt, you know. That's why we resist.
How about if that person is just not ready yet? They know they're doing something wrong, maybe supposedly in society, whatever. They're just not ready yet, but they have an awareness of it, and they're just not ready. What is that?
That is ignorance. In ignorance, they don't know. So they don't even have ego.
No, let's just say they know they're doing something wrong.
Yes.
They know. Doing something wrong. They smoke every day. They know it's wrong. They know it's unhealthy, whatever it is. They're just not ready to quit yet. They just don't want to quit yet.
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah, because they don't want to change.
Right, but
so
what is
then,
that?
So somebody accepts, I'm smoking or I'm drinking, I don't want to change.
Right.
They're doomed.
Well, but
that means they're not thinking about changing it.
Well, no, even if they're thinking about changing it, but just not ready. You know how some things just fall
yes.
away and you're just not ready?
Right.
You want to eat, I want to eat ice cream every night. I don't want to not eat ice cream every night. That's what I do.
So you suffer the consequences.
Right, I understand. Okay.
So like if anyone is not willing to change, they suffer the consequences.
Right.
If somebody wants to justify to protect their ego.
Right, but if they're not justifying, I'm saying,
right.
and they're just doing it, they know they're doing it, they know they shouldn't be doing that, but they do it anyway.
Right, so they would suffer the consequences. Okay. So, his point is, subtle ego comes in our way from changing. Like say, what I'm doing, there is reason for it. Okay.
I can see.
But then, we want to change, we have to become humble. Humble means looking at ourselves, I'm doing something wrong. When humility comes, then we are open to try to change. So people who accept, I'm done, they're done. People who want to change, there is some desire, there is struggle, that is in between stage. And then you have clarity, then you don't defend, you say, I have problem. So first thing is, somebody who is addict, the first problem is admitting I have addiction. See? So that is humility.
Right, that's number one.
Right. And from humility, then they can make changes. Okay, so that's the idea. So our ego comes in our way It's a subtle ego. And this is why, like, you want to help so many people, and they find all excuses. Just like in any area. Like, I want to teach somebody and then they don't show up and all this. Subtle ego, hurting themselves. It's just man-made ego. Like, say, like some people, like in the class, were saying, shame and guilt is self-made. Shame and guilt.
Self-made it is?
Self-made. Like, say, somebody stops coming to class because they're not practicing or they're doing wrong thing. For me, it doesn't matter. I accept them. But it's self-made shame and guilt that they made up, that I should be so perfect and I'm not perfect. From my standpoint, I'm just teaching. Whatever they do is fine. They can come back, they're welcome. So those who have humility, they come back because they have to let go of ego. So many people don't come because it's subtle ego and lack of humility that they don't want to change. Okay.